Well, I didn't expect to be making a video again so soon, but here we are. I wanted to talk about this because I think it's very important, especially about holding accountability to a company of this size, especially considering that I really do like their drawing program, and it's a kind of a shame to see the response they have had to this entire situation and the backlash. Yes, we were talking about Clip Studio Paint, the AI situation. It's been all over my feed the past couple days. I kind of waited a couple days just kind of see how this plays out, see what Clip Studio said, see if they were going to make a follow-up, see if the artist in question was going to say anything, and lo and behold, nothing has happened at all. So I'm going to make this video and just to make a follow-up. If they make a new statement, then I'll make a new one at that time, but for now, we're going to talk about it. So to give a little bit of context, a couple days ago, Clip Studio Paint posted this, and it was this brand new contest that they were doing. It said it's the 47th International Illustration Contest. It says theme my color palette. Make your own color palette and draw original illustrations. Enter with hashtags, and then they have more details provided here. Now, when you just see that, it sounds pretty cool, right? Oh, drawing contest, drawing application, trying to recognize artists. Who doesn't like that, right? But the problem then becomes when they show the actual artwork that's supposed to be like the face of this promotion. So here is a speed paint that they had initially showed. I know what you're probably thinking, looking at. We'll get to that soon. But this was originally the speed paint that we saw. And this is, a lot of people were kind of like wonder what the hell is this? Because it looks really odd, right? When you look at how this is presented, it just seems so weird. But, maybe there's something that we're missing here, right? But clearly with this going on, there was a lot of people that were questioning this, saying, hey, this looks pretty sketchy. This is like, it's probably AI. What is going on here? And so Clip Studio Paint made a follow-up. They had this post right here that says this artwork was painted for us in 2023 in close collaboration with Soleil. Oh my god. It's made with this artist, made in Clip Studio Paint from sketch to final touches. Generative AI was not used for this artwork. We apologize for any confusion caused by our edits to the time lapse to shorten the length and ask that you be kind to your comments towards the artist. We're looking forward to seeing all your contest entries. And so, did this go well? No, it didn't. No, it didn't. But let's rewind things. Let's get to why this even happened. So a lot of people did a lot of digging around for who this artist is, because of course you see something like that, you're going to be like, wow, this looks like it might be AI. This is very intriguing. Let's check it out. Let's do a little bit of research. And of course, the argument can always be made, right? Hey, AI had to take from somewhere, and let's say that this artist probably was making art that was this detailed and it was this quality before AI was even a thing. And so, 9 times out of 10, probably AI just copied their art style, and realistically they made this by hand. But the thing that really muddies the water here, and this is where things started to really fall apart, was again when people started doing some digging around. So one account that I keep track of that tends to look into this, and there's also some links that I'll provide in the description below that I looked because I wanted to verify this for myself, but it comes from this account called Is This Real Art? And so they said, so we checked the artist yesterday, and despite the AI art style plus little odd stuff in speed paste, we couldn't really find any current evidence that it was indeed AI being used until today when screenshots resurfaced the AI overpaints being offered as a type of commission back in 2023. And so this is where they provide the commission information, and it's from that artist, and it says commission information. Hello everyone, for commissions please contact me at this email or via Instagram private messages. And so then they talk about where they provide what type of services. Now of course, because like anybody, always skeptical whenever I just see pictures, because anyone can fabricate that, and I don't think that it's ever really foolproof enough to really satisfy my want to know if that's actually going on. So here is an actual captured web archive that, again, I'll put a link in the description below so that you can check it out, but you can find said post right here that has the same information from the artist. And it says, hello everyone, for commissions please contact me here. AI overpaints head close up 250 euros or pounds Apologize, don't really know that currency. I see the symbol a lot. I'm a stupid American, my bad. Chest portraits are 350, half body are 450, 3/4 body 560, and then full body is 660. And then they said AI overpaint images are smaller in resolution. If you would like it bigger, the price will be increased. Fully covered paintings by hand, stylized / realistic, head close up 500, chest 600, half body 750, 3/4 body 860, full body 960. Depending on the complexity of details and backgrounds, the price might be increased. And then they just pretty much go on continuing the rest of the things they offer. But the biggest thing that people were noticing is AI overpaints, which, yeah, it's going to be kind of a red flag, right? If it doesn't really, here's the reason, because I know some people are probably going to be really curious about this as well too. Why would people latch on so much to that when we're talking about this one question in piece? And it's because general integrity starts to be questioned. Is there still artistic integrity if you have anything that's publicly stating you do it, especially with something such as AI overpaints? When you have something so blatantly open on your profile and you're talking about even doing something like that, that really starts to make people question you as an artist and question how authentic, how true, how much of the stuff that you make is actually made by you versus how much is just generated by AI. And let's say that you're just going over, you're in this case, painting over AI, right? That's really what it boils down to, and that's what the situation is, pretty much blown up for. And the thing that's even more intriguing when you look into this is the fact that they changed their actual posts, as you can look right here, right? This is from the web archive, November 14th, 2021. This talks about AI overpaint. You go to their DeviantArt now, it's not here. No information. So it could be questioned, when was this edited? Why is this different from the one that was initially there on the web archive? What's actually going on? Why would you hide this information? And the thing that I hate most about this is just the fact that the artist hasn't said anything. I feel like, especially in this type of situation, this isn't even really a witch hunt. This is people with valid, genuine concerns, and they just want some clarity on this. If there's a complete misunderstanding, I feel like the artist could clearly speak open about this and talk about it, because, yeah, there's something that's a little, wonky. It's a little questionable. But continuing on, from the same account, they did some more digging in, as well as other people. And it says she seems to have resurfaced back into art when she gained access to AI models and started overpainting AI. It says during 2023 and onwards, many pieces showed inconsistent art styles. Midjourney and Speedpaint seem normal for the most part. We can guess that AI is a hidden layer. And so this is showing old art style. They said consistent. They said different art styles after AI, inconsistent. And then continuing on, and then they continue on by saying 2024's art style turned more into anime, the year Midjourney releases more diverse Niji anime models. So it makes us believe that that's her AI generation of preference. She clearly is capable of drawing and has resorted to using AI as a reference at the very least. It says her works late of 2024, default style for Midjourney 2024, and then they said Niji 5 example late 2023. Continuing on, this is more evidence of her interest in AI. Says Sai, the artist, in fact, used AI in their process, their internet footprint. And so this is a screenshot of this artist having a conversation with someone, talking with Unbound Curiosities in 2023. The artist said, "That's really beautiful. I would assume you use Stable Diffusion and not Midjourney." And they said, "Thank you, correct. But also using a custom Stable Diffusion model, custom LoRa model, and control net with OpenPose to have all similar images." They said, "That's so cool. I'd love to learn how to generate something so beautiful and manage to run Stable Diffusion only to have issues with it not being able to clear memory and them having a bunch of errors." They said, "Thank you. Oh no, what graphics card are you using?" Asus 980 Ti Strix. What about you? 3090. Still need some help. So this is a conversation that they had. Here's another screenshot from the same person. It says, "Star Princess, hey guys, long time no see. Hope you're all doing well. I had no desire to paint for a while. Then AI stuff came and the mood for painting was completely gone. A few days ago, however, I decided to overpaint this AI image and make it look more like my own style. Maybe more will come, maybe not. It depends." And another screenshot. And then here's this as well too. This is also linked to the web archive if you want to view that. But that's what we were talking about, the AI overpaint that they eventually removed off their actual DeviantArt page and refers to commissions. Continuing on, there's another post that she has been tinkering with AI since 2022. It says, "Pencil and balls pen sketch after playing somewhat with AI. I felt like creating my own portrait again. Thank you for stopping by. Wishing you all a lovely day." Again, October 26, 2022. And then they made a follow-up post saying, "Correction, says while we thought MJ was the engine being used, it's most likely Stable Diffusion, maybe both." And then they were replying to this user who told them that, hey, it looks like that they've been using stable diffusion with an EG model, and this is, yeah, it's a lot of stuff, dog. It's a lot of information. So this is a very intriguing situation, and this is what I was talking about earlier as well too, right? It's that she drew this in 2021, so it's likely she was able to create the CSP art without using AI. Man, the artist so proudly declares that they use AI, their reputation's ruined, and any art they create should be scrutinized. She brought this on herself. And this is the situation really sucked because she clearly knows how to paint for a really professional level of detail, but decides to use AI. And yeah, I mean, that's really what it boils down to, right? Whether or not this artist used AI for that particular image, of course, we can just guess. We can look at all the different digital footprints that this artist has made online, especially in regards to their usage of AI and how much they like using AI. But I do think it's a very poor look, and I think it's a very bad look, especially on Clip Studio's part for their answer and the fact that this is who they're supporting, because this isn't some small type artist. And if you go to their Instagram page right now, they got 112,000 followers, and that's not a small number, right? And this is, of course, the current art that they're putting on here, which is a whole nother complete different art style. Take it as you will. You're more than welcome to pause. I think it's very odd though when you look at all the different art they have on here, and then they got these two, these stand out so much. This one, and then you got all of this. And of course, it's not to say that an artist can't have different art styles. They can't try different things. Every artist can, right? But it just stands out. It really just stands out. These in particular, because it just starts to feel like, am I looking at AI here? Why is it in this one as well too? It's like, why are these three standouts from everything else? It's just, I don't know. It is questionable, right? And then when you look at their history and their preference towards AI, it starts to really just give a nasty taste in the mouth. But yeah, I just want to talk about this. I do hope that there eventually does come to a point where the artist at least himself makes a statement on this as well. I think that them being quiet about this is not a good look, in my personal opinion. I feel like they should probably be open and actually just explain what's going on. Again, this isn't no small time artist. This is someone who does want to sell commissions as well too. And I feel like that type of transparency and understanding what's going on is very important, but that's just my personal opinion. And again, it doesn't mean that this artwork in particular had generative AI use in any way, shape, or form. The artist could maybe done it completely from scratch. I couldn't tell you. I'm not here to make that claim that yes, they actually definitively used it. But what I will say is that going based off their track history and just sort of the things that was on their DeviantArt right here on the web archive, and then the fact that they removed it in present day isn't a good look. And then just the general fact of the discussions and just kind of how open they were about using it, you can't help but be a little skeptical and wonder, like, is it really 100% authentic? I don't know, man. And that's also the same reason why so many people were kind of up in arms about this and being like, hey, what's going on here? There's so many other artists that Clip Studio could use for their banner. They could probably find a small artist, one who's very open about their process, one who supports Clip Studio greatly. Anything of that caliber, they could, find another artist and just put them on the front banner and give them a spotlight instead of someone like this who openly has admitted to using AI. And again, you're drawing an art program, and one that's already received backlash about AI in the past. You would think they'll be probably a little bit more careful about it going forward. Like, if I'm being honest real quick, I just wanted to say, because I know some people are probably wondering, what do you expect in Clip Studio to do in this situation? If anything, I would expect them to at least acknowledge the concerns that people have, instead of just saying, hey, this artwork in particular doesn't have any generative AI used. I would rather them acknowledge and at least say, hey, we understand there's a lot of discussion around this artist and their use of generative AI on other works, and we do not stand by generative AI use in any way, shape, or form. We can confidently, and I don't know what they would do. Maybe show a full time lapse of that artwork if it still exists. I couldn't tell you, but I would want them to try and make it more right than just saying, hey, no, we know this isn't made with generative AI, because we've seen this type of response before from companies that have been called out for AI usage, just like Qualcomm. I don't know if y'all remember that situation, but they got called out for AI usage at one point, and they're like, no, there's no AI used, and then actually AI was used. So yeah, I don't know, man. You let me know what you think in the comment section though.